another podcast.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself, Ryan McGee.
We'll try.
Okay. Another week, another podcast.
Yeah, you got to get that Nickelodeon in you.
That's what I was thinking, too. I was literally thinking Nickelodeon, like a commercial.
New episodes, 9 p.m. Central.
A new episode of SpongeBob starts now.
Yeah.
They always did Central Time as like the... No, they'd be like 9/8 Central.
Raven Baxter's big ass is coming right at you. Only on Disney Channel.
Raven Baxter's big, juicy, jiggly ass.
Oh my God.
Up next.
She was in high school in that show.
I'm talking about, this is a reboot where she's an adult, and it's about her having...
Yeah, it's the new Raven, because they did make the reboot.
Right.
Called Raven's House.
Raven in the House.
Raven in the House.
Dude,
what was it called? Hold up.
Wasn't it just Raven? I thought it was... Did anyone watch the reboot?
That's so Raven.
And was it even... What was it on? Was it on Disney?
It was on Disney.
Because the iCarly reboot was on Netflix, and they got a little inappropriate with
Raven's
that.
Home.
Raven's Home.
It's not worse than... I think the worst reboot title is Fuller House.
Yeah. I saw that pop up on Netflix yesterday, and I was like, why?
Fuller House. Why they should have... I'm surprised they didn't go with the title I recommended, which is More Filled House.
Yeah, I really liked that, and I thought that they were going to because it seemed like they were on board.
And I feel like it feels at least more grammatically correct than Fuller House.
Oh, 100%. No one's
More Filled House?
More Filled House is 100% the correct one.
It's whatever. They went with what they went with. But you guys have us and all of our wonderful ideas right here. We don't need to branch off to Netflix, although we would not complain if we had to. If we were given a budget and solely had to create a show or something like that.
If we were given a large sum of money and said, make a show from Netflix or Amazon or Hulu, or
if we could get some billionaire benefactor to help fund our channel.
Dude, that would be fucking dope.
I know.
Rupert Murdoch.
Come on, hey.
Coming through and giving us a couple million to make some quality content.
I want to see some sketches.
Yeah,
okay, Rupert. We'll get those sketches right out. Of course, buddy.
He's like sitting in a wheelchair with a cat on his lap. But in an evil way, not in like a cute old man way.
He's got like a pearl as an eye, like a giant pearl.
With a scar going down like that.
Yep.
Oh, man. Good old Rupert. But speaking of Rupert Murdoch, we went and saw a certain movie that he wrote and directed.
Well, he did not write and direct this movie.
What?
Also, it was like 2 podcasts ago or so, I made a mistake and said that the director of... Oh, fuck, I'm sorry.
What'd you fucking do this time, dude?
I said the director of Cell Block 99...
Oh, fuck.
Directed the school shooting Daily Wire movie, and I was incorrect. I have no idea where I got that information. I'm so sorry to have lied to our whole audience. It wasn't purposeful, and if it was, you can't prove it. So, but anyways.
That was a good response.
Right?
Yeah. Who did direct it?
Some idiot.
How did you attribute that to the...
I have no fucking clue. I think I was watching some like video essay about the school shooter movie like like 2-3 years ago, and then something in that video essay made me tie those two together.
So, then you're on.
I don't know how. I don't know why. I don't know how. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm sure the director of Cell Block 99 was watching and he went, "Oh, what?
I didn't do that shit.
I didn't make that shitty movie.
I made
Don't do it.
The other one
because you're gonna say the wrong movie.
Tomahawk.
It's Tommy Hawk.
I was about to say Bone Collar. Bone Collar. The Bone Collar.
Now you're thinking of Shot Collar.
Okay.
Which is a good movie as well. I like that. But good movies.
Or Shock Collar, which is what we wore on several the Mario Party.
Drunk Mario Kart.
Drunk Mario Kart.
That shit hurt really bad. The alcohol helped numb the pain, but fuck, that hurt. But what didn't hurt was the good movie we saw. We saw Alien Romulus.
We did. Matt and I, as we said one podcast ago, we were going right after that to see Alien Romulus, and we did, in fact, go and watch Alien Romulus. And I know that there has been mixed reviews online. Some people saying it's good, some people saying it's bad and a rehash, blah, 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 blah. And the world is waiting with bated breath to hear both Matt and Ryan, me, our opinions on the new Alien Romulus movie. So we're about to give it to you. Give it to you good, give it to you hard, give it to you the way you like it.
That's right. You have all these professional movie critics on YouTube saying their thoughts, but you don't care about that. You want to hear Matt and Ryan's opinion.
Yeah.
My opinion, it was good.
My opinion, fantastic time in the theater.
Can I change mine?
Sure.
My opinion, fabulous.
Okay.
No, fabulous sounds a little too... let me
that's
change.
fine.
Oh,
That's
no.
You can say fantabulous.
Okay. I thought Alien Romulus was fantabulous.
You can put that in quotes. Oh, they're going to put that in quotes like when they're like, #1 movie in America.
It like on the poster.
Yep.
Alien Romulus was fantabulous.
Super mega show.
I wish they would. But I really, really, really had a fucking blast seeing that.
And I guess this is, from my perspective coming into this movie, I saw the first Alien movie for the first time very late in life. I saw it probably when I was already in my 20s.
I don't remember much.
And then I saw Alien 2 before Alien 1. So like I'm not like the biggest Alien like fan. I've only seen each movie like one time.
Aliens?
Aliens
is 2, right?
Yeah, because there's Aliens, and then Alien 3 or some shit like that.
They should just put one more
I haven't
S.
seen 3. I haven't seen Alien versus Predator Requiem. I saw the first one. So, like, I guess suffice it to say, I haven't watched these movies time and time again. I don't think we're the biggest fans of the Alien franchise. Not in terms of our enjoyment of the films, but in terms of like our knowledge of the Alien universe. We both appreciate and like Prometheus, and
I like Prometheus a lot,
and Alien Covenant,
which I need to give a rewatch because we saw that in theaters. Did we see that together in theaters?
I thought we saw Covenant definitely in
right,
theaters.
right.
I don't know about Prometheus.
I need to give it another watch. I liked Covenant, and I really liked Prometheus. I also need to give that another watch because it's been a super long time. I saw that one in theaters, really liked it, and I liked there were some spoilers. Just throwing that out there, but there was some.
Skip to this time code if you're watching.
That's right, Luke.
And if you're listening, Luke, can you give him the time code to go to skip spoilers? Just tell him. This isn't something you can throw up text for. You actually have to think of the audio listeners as well, buddy.
Well, it might be different based on if there's ads in the YouTube or ad-free version on Patreon or streaming service. Just skip ahead.
We can't do that?
Skip ahead.
Should we even talk about spoilers then, or should we just kind of meander around certain things? Like, for instance, I'll give you an example, Matt. While some thought the last 20 to 30 minutes ruined the film, I thought it sent the movie over the edge into me adoring it even more than I did before those last 30 minutes. We can't go into detail about those 30 minutes.
I want to go into detail.
But a lot of
go.
We can't if we can't give because of fucking ads and stuff. If we can't give people a safe spot to go, then it's not good for us to give spoilers.
I got it.
Okay,
just go. Skip to after the first ad break.
Okay,
just skip ahead. You'll see. We won't talk about it after the ad break.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it until the ad break. And if you don't want to hear spoilers, just
yeah.
But yes, really, really fantastic film. I don't get scared very much by movies because I'm a strong masculine man.
Of course.
But this one did have me on the edge of my seat many times throughout the film. I was like, ooh.
For those who are like, who just know it as the new Alien movie, yes, this is the new Alien movie, Alien Romulus. The story is that there is a mining planet that our protagonist works on, and their life sucks. They have a, I guess, sibling, so to speak, not blood relative, more in terms of their emotional connection with an android. Androids are very popular in the Alien franchise. The last iteration that people loved was, I was about to call him Mark, but it's not. It's Michael Fassbender. It's not Mark Fassbender.
It's Marcus Fassbender, but
it's Michael Fassbender, who I can't remember the name of his guy, but I thought he did a fantastic job as the android there.
It just clicked.
But in this movie, if I can, I gotta get the actor's name because he does deserve praise.
He was fantastic.
He played the android in this current one,
and it just clicked, dude. Andy. His name was Andy.
Okay,
in the
it is
movie.
Andy. Okay,
Android. Andy.
Oh, I want to get the name of the actor. That's what I. Okay, Alien. Let me at least have the IMDb pulled up so we can give proper credit to where credit is.
Yeah, he was great, and he hasn't been in much. He was like probably
David Johnson.
Davy Johnson.
David
Johnson. He probably could also be called Davy Johnson. I think he
wanted to.
I think he should rebrand as that. But really, really, really good performance.
I think he gave the best performance in the whole film.
Yeah, I agree.
I think everyone gave a decent performance. I don't remember there being a moment where anyone's acting or anything took me out. I think it all was pretty in line with keeping me invested, with keeping me, as Matt said, on the edge of my seat. So basically, the protagonist and Andy, they're in need of a better life because on this mining planet, you're essentially forced to work by the big corporation until you die, essentially. They give you a certain amount of time that you need to work for them to pay off debts or whatever you need to pay off. That always tends to seem like it just extends and extends and extends until you die of some disease from the mines or die of old age or die of some injury. So they're not living the best life. They're working for some shitty company and they want out. But not only them, their ragtag group of friends, because they seem close, but
a little rocky though.
Yeah, a little rocky. Comes up with this plan that there's this space station in orbit that has old equipment that we could sell for a lot of money.
It's abandoned.
Yeah,
and it has fuel that they can use to get on to zip their little asses off that planet to go to a much better star system
at a place where they can only dream of seeing the sun and sunsets because on this mining planet there's so much like fog.
I think it's tidally locked,
and
so they
shit.
can't. They're like on the dark side of it,
Yeah.
or something.
I thought it was because of the environmental hazards, like the fog and stuff. That's why they could never see the sun.
Oh, mayhaps.
Remember, they just breached that, and then they see the sun for the first time coming up out of the
That was a cool sequence when
clouds.
they took off. I like that.
So that's the plot of the film, and of course, you should know by now in an alien movie. Once they get on that space station.
It's an abandoned space station, by the way.
Yes,
it's
an abandoned space station in orbit that is set to crash into. What I like about this is that the planet that they're on has rings.
Oh,
it's cool.
Epic.
The space station is going to crash into the rings of the planet, and so they have a timer to get on this ship, get what they need to get, and get out. And of course, on the ship, there's some scary things, some critters, maybe an alien or two.
Yeah,
and that's what they deal with. So that's the premise of the film. And now you know that Matt and I generally liked it, but now we can go into a little bit of the details.
Oh, yeah.
The cinematography, wonderful.
Oh, the acting.
The shots, beautiful.
Acting was fantastic from everyone. Also the effects were really great. They did a lot of practical effects, didn't they? I think Luke was saying
all
something
of it
about
was practical, essentially. Besides, of course, like
when they're
the outside environment in space, and then of course the
when they're like jumping
the
from
old
wall to wall.
android that's from the first Alien that they had to use not AI, but they had the CG a dead actor's face onto an android.
I didn't know that.
The guy we talked about it after the movie.
I didn't know he
you were
was
like
from
something's wrong with his face. Was he from the original?
No, I was saying something was wrong with Andy's face.
Oh,
like because it looked like he got stung by bees on his eye.
Okay.
Like it's just like
did he?
No,
what?
it just well yes to me it looked like it.
Okay, but I didn't notice that at all. But other than that, like effect of the CGI bringing back the dead with CGI. It was like whatever. You can kind of mind wipe it to be, oh, this is like an android technology and it's like a holographic looking face,
thought.
maybe. But that being the only case of bad CGI for me, like everything else, as you said, was practical. Like the crawlers, they're on like remote control things, like the little spider creatures that they have.
That's I didn't know that. That's crazy.
The aliens are like dudes in suits, I think. And then I don't want to rush to the ending so soon, even though it's my favorite part of the movie, just because of I thought it was a fun little. I don't know. It was I always categorize Alien as of course it's a thriller, but it's a haunted house movie. You know,
going from room to room, getting jump scared.
You're being hunted by this one almost seemingly invincible creature that has a second mouth within its mouth. It has a tail that can pierce you, and
it's got hydrochloric acid
and kebab you. It has spit that like seeps through the hull of like industrial ships. It's a terrifying creature.
Very scary.
And that's like I think that's my favorite part of the first Alien. I like it typically when it's just one. I was a little kind of like ugh when they started pouring in all the other aliens on the ship all at once. I thought they were only gonna have to contend with like one after the aftermath or something like that.
Spread quick.
Yeah,
but that from what I've gathered, and alien heads probably are rolling their eyes. I'm not big into the franchise, but what I gathered is like their purpose is to reproduce as quickly as possible, and they just go crazy reproducing.
Their purpose is essentially to be and create the perfect life form.
And the big one, the big alien, really fucking scary design.
The xenomorph.
The xenomorph.
Because then there's the chest bursters, the crawlers,
yes.
and then the tried and true xenomorph.
The xenomorph is what I'm talking about. And I loved the aspect of they're escaping from it and they're getting really far on the space station away from it, and it's just hunting them. Mm-hmm. It's not leaving them alone. And I felt like a real, genuine, spooky terror.
And for people that don't like horror movies, I'm a person that doesn't like horror movies.
Me either.
While there were like scary moments, I think there was only like one jump scare that like made me jump. So like it's not a movie that's trying to make you jump every 5 seconds. Yeah. I mean, there's little things like they'll turn on the computer and it'll make a loud noise and stuff, but
that's just your sensory issues.
Yeah.
I think I got jump scared thrice.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Mine was at the very end.
Yeah.
That
got me good.
We'll get into it later, but or maybe we can just get into
Let's
it now.
just get straight into it, man.
Because you know, I recommend seeing it. I don't want to like say too much of the story, of course. We gave you a spoiler warning. This is going to be the more big spoilers, and then we'll talk more about through the podcast about other topics and stuff, and we won't just talk about the new Alien.
We'll talk about politics, guys. You love that.
Everyone's favorite. So the ending, classic Alien. You know, they some at least escape, and they think they're safe. Lo and behold, they're not.
I thought that was the end of the movie.
Yeah,
they're taking off in the ship. I'm like, oh, great.
There is a intense birthing sequence that happens. And then after that birthing sequence, because previously in the film they introduce, if you have seen Prometheus or Alien Covenant, they introduced the substance that I think is from the xenomorphs or generated from them, called the black goo. In those movies, it was used as more of like a doomsday weapon.
Right. That's what the guy drinks at the beginning of Prometheus.
Yeah. And in this movie, they reference that it could be used as a weapon, but it could also be used as like a cure-all, and the magical cure for all ailments like paralysis and cancer, and like
it like accelerates like your growth, or I don't remember, but it was something where it's like it's something with your DNA, and
it's like what are those? What do rich people get that poor people can't get?
Adrenochrome
for their health. No. It's like something that's like not FDA approved. It's not adrenochrome, Matthew.
What's it for?
It's just like to fix a bunch of shit. They just give it. I'm trying to remember what it is.
I didn't know that existed.
You recommended it to me actually at one point.
What?
You were like, "Oh, have you ever heard of blah 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 blah?" Hold on.
It's not Ozempic.
No. I'm gonna go ask Luke because he's smart.
Cool. And I'll talk about the birthing sequence a little bit. She opens her legs, and blood sprays out of her pussy everywhere, and her stomach is huge. And she's screaming. Why? Because she injected herself with the black goo, because she was dying. She had been injured, and she's pregnant. So she, as a last resort, injects the black goo into herself. But what it does is it starts growing her baby, and I guess fusing it with the xenomorph DNA. And next thing you know, that little sucker is growing quick and goes through all the trimesters in about 5 minutes, blasts out of her pussy, and they think it's like a xenomorph thing, and this pod opens. Lo and behold, it's a little white baby. And they're like, oh, huh? And this little white baby begins to grow and get bigger, and it's basically like a hybrid of a human and a xenomorph, and it's really fucking scary. It is this, like, it grows really quick, and it has, like, super length. Oh, fuck.
Sorry, I had an aha moment. Stem cells.
Oh, stem cells.
I was just going to say the black goo is like stem cells on crack.
Yeah.
It can fix the broken.
God, I wish stem cell shit was legal.
Yeah.
Could regrow everything. But I was saying the hybrid of the xenomorph and the human, how it grows, it accelerates, like its growth is accelerated, and it is very quickly becoming super lanky and terrifying. And it kind of looks like the guy from the beginning of Prometheus. It has like the same.
What's it called? It's a direct call to Prometheus. It's the director. This whole movie acts as a love letter, from my point of view, to like the Alien franchise in whole.
That's people's complaint, but it's like, in my opinion, because a lot of people say it's like a rehash. It's too much of a rehash. I didn't mind that. Like, to me, that doesn't detract from the movie.
Maybe it's because you and I haven't seen the Alien movies that much, and we're not like, I don't know. Maybe it's to like someone who loved those films and have seen them many times. They could see it as like eye-rolly of like,
sure,
oh, they reference this, they reference that. And maybe some of those references I didn't catch because I'm not as big of a fan of those movies. But the references that I didn't stick out as eye-rolling. The one that stuck out to me the most, of course, was the
Andy.
Get away from her, you bitch, which is a callback to Aliens when Ripley is trying to protect little girl from
That made me a
Alien.
little eye-rollish. That was the only thing, though.
Yeah.
I was
mean,
whatever.
It's like, even that, but like they do set it up earlier in the film with him saying that. Like, it's not like an excuse. It's like when he's fighting with the mullet dude. The mullet dude says something in a similar vein of like, get away from her, you whatever. And so he's kind of, it's a very loose thread that they're basing it off of.
Right.
But like, to me, it didn't, like that one part didn't take me out of the film and go, oh, what the hell?
Some guy in the front row did.
Cheesy.
But speaking of the mullet guy, it's actually fun fact because they did all of the practical effects. The only CG they did was the British actors because they didn't want the rest of the cast to be around.
They didn't
British
know how
people.
to get their teeth as goofy as possible.
Yeah,
so
and
so they had to use CG to one, place the British actors safely on set with the American actors, and to also give the American actors who were playing more British inclined roles fake CGI teeth.
Right.
Which I think looked fine. I didn't even notice they were CG.
Yo, they looked fantastic. They looked really good.
But that final scene that you were running ahead and talking about with the birthing and then the xenomorph and alien hybrid, I loved that whole sequence. I thought it was like I'm using perfect loosely. Of course, nothing's perfect, but I thought it was a perfect kind of creature feature ending. Like, I really enjoyed the hell out of it. I think it's because it's something that, from my recollection at least, they hadn't done before. And
I liked that a lot.
Fun and new, and it was also like, we're used to how the alien looks, so we're not as terrified of it anymore. But this thing had more of a like a what's
uncanny
that?
valley?
Yeah, it was is that uncanny valley term, especially with that shot where it's Andy's reaction, then it cuts right to the silent shot of the creature just staring and observing.
Dude,
which was such a good introduction to the monster too.
That thing was legitimately, like, the design of that monster was so scary. Like, it actually freaked me the fuck out, and the way that it kept like evolving and changing,
like growing like super fast. It just like that ending was just a fun time in the theater, and like not the type of fun like, because I don't know, a lot of people describe stuff as fun where it's like, oh, there were explosions and there was action and stuff. A lot of the times I find explosions and all that stuff in movies boring.
Right.
And like you'll just kind of watch and like, okay, when is this going to get done so we can get to the furthering of the plot? This was done where I thought that it wasn't at the disservice of the plot. They both worked well together. I was as interested with how this character is going to get out of this situation as I was with just the idea of this xenomorph human hybrid. Like, what does it do? What does it have what are the similarities of the humans? What from the humans is it getting that makes it more of a
predator?
A predator. Not to be confused with the Predator.
No, never.
But yeah, just like I loved the design of that last creature.
Same.
I thought it was just a fun fucking idea to end the movie on.
Uh-huh.
And for me, it ended the movie with a bang. And I told you this after the film. If they hadn't had that sequence, if they had like gotten out and like maybe there was a little kerfuffle with like a crawler or something on the ship.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Like it would have been like fine, but this really just the way it ended with that fun, wonderful little sequence really made me go out of the theater and go, that whole film was just a rather splendid good time.
You had tears in your eyes of joy, and I haven't seen that in a while. And overall, I give it a big old Matthew thumbs up.
Oh yeah, I'd say this is definitely I recommend to go see. We saw it in an IMAX, not like I don't think it was like a true IMAX.
No, it was
theater.
just a big screen, and they're like, it's IMAX.
It was, it's a big screen, and the sound. I thought the sound was wonderful in their theater.
I thought the sound was really good.
I do think this is a movie that's worth seeing in theaters, just because
totally
the sound design, even like we were praising a bunch of the other aspects, but like the set design and sound design, I think so many of the departments on this film knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
I really, and you and I are big. We're big analog heads, so of course we love the futuresque technology, all the whirring and the like.
I really
crackling of the screens coming out, like it just all worked.
I loved how
the sound is so good in this film.
I think it's like I think that they made all the technology. It's futuristic, but it's really retro, and I feel like that's because in the first Alien movie, they made stuff futuristic, but it was still super retro because that was what they had at the time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I like that they kept with that. You know,
because in Prometheus, which takes place before Alien, I believe it's like newer technology, and I believe that Ridley Scott has said that the reason that Prometheus technology looks more clean and whatever is because it's actually an excursion that is taking, what is his name, Roland, starts with the W something. Wayland, sorry. Wayland is going on that trip himself, and he's funding it, and of course he's gonna prioritize comfortability.
Have the best tech.
He's gonna have the best tech. And do you think that these kind of low grade workers are gonna be given the best tech?
No,
they're given all this like beeps and boops and old types of ships that are years and years old that should probably not be around anymore. So I buy it.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I think it was fantastic. And go see it.
One of my favorite movies of the year.
For sure. Show.
Granted, I don't think too much. Nope. What else have we liked this year? We really had fun with. I'm not gonna say it's like a great film like this is, but we did have a lot of, and I'm gonna use the word fun. We did have a lot of fun with Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, that was fun. I wouldn't.
No, it's not. It's not a. It's a different
type of fun.
Yeah,
you know, it wasn't an incredible movie, but it was fun. Almost as fun.
It's a popcorn movie. Ad read, sorry. You were trying to say ad reads, and I wanted to talk and say something, but you were trying to go to ad reads. But we can go to ad reads.
Just go.
Now?
We already went to ad reads.
Are you really?
We have to. We're so late. They're gonna yell at us.
Oh shit, we are late.
Yeah.
Super Mega.
Also, I thought Kaylee Spaney did a decent job in her acting.
Seriously?
Because we didn't mention her really, and she's the protagonist. She's the main
Oh
character.
fuck! People are gonna think we're misogynist.
Because we gave all the credit to
Andy.
Yeah. Fuck.
Well,
her performance was leagues and bounds above what I expected. She did a good job.
She did a fantastic job.
did a
I
great
feel like
job.
she's gonna be because she was in Civil War and like, oh, who's this new actress?
I like her as an actress.
I think she's gonna be one of those actresses that blows up and everyone knows her name, like the next Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes, and I even think, even including this movie, I still don't think she has had her role yet. You know,
It'll be in the Super Mega project that we do whenever we get a Netflix show.
Like, I think the standout definitely was Andy's actor, who I already forgot the name of, but he's
David
something.
Anyway, guys, I'm sorry if we spoiled anything. If you skipped after the ad break and you heard us say the actors' names,
David Johnson.
David Johnson
Johnson.
sounds like a fake name.
I know, that's why it was hard
It's
to
like
remember.
David Johnson.
But yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you guys. It's like the movie review show is real.
I know.
You know, all you movie heads can go, oh fuck yeah, get that out of your mouth. Get the microphone out of your mouth. Don't do that again. Don't do it again, dude. Don't put it down, dude. Pick it back up. We have to record. No, it's upside down, dude. Flip it back around and dude, you can't do that. It's expensive. Stop, dude. Look, dude, you're breaking things. Are you okay? Can you chill?
You can't expect me to act normally when you're yelling at me. There's so
I'm not
much
yelling
pressure.
at you, dude. I'm just you're acting a fool right now.
Well, you're not yelling with me.
Why would I be yelling with you? That doesn't make any sense, dude.
You're sure as hell yelling at me.
You're throwing a tantrum. Of course. What do you do when a child misbehaves?
Kill him.
Yep.
Call the herd.
Yep. Kill him. Leave him in the woods.
What's that fucking ๊�ᴜᴛᴇᴜ quote? Oh, what's another 200 years? I'll just make another one. It's when the leader of the ๊�ᴜᴜmites essentially is beating the shit out of his son.
I don't know what the ๊��ⴜmites are.
Oh, never mind.
What's that from? So like Amish?
Invincible.
People? Oh. Is Invincible 2?
What?
This is Invincible 1?
This is the show Invincible.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the Invincibles.
The animated.
Yeah.
It has Steven Yeun in it.
It
has a lot of voice actors. It has J.K. Simmons plays Mr. ๊�ᴜᴜmite.
The main character is
Steven Yeun.
Is that the one with like it's almost like it's animated and it's like yellow suit with like the white round eyes? What am I thinking of?
That is Invincible. He has the blue and yellow suit with the white round eyes and the hair popping up on top.
We did an ad read for that show.
What?
Back on Super Mega Cast, we did one singular ad read where we had to like advertise that show right before it came out.
All I have to say is the show was a hit, so I'm not saying that we were the reason, but if you follow the connections, it seems to be pretty clear.
They say, correlation is not causation, is what they say in statistics, but I think that that's a lie, and I think that the whole field of statistics is pseudoscience.
Yeah.
But I look at the connection.
I mean, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's a Robert Kirkman
banger joint.
Robert Kirkman is always like, I find that whenever he writes, like, because I haven't read Invincible, but I read The Walking Dead, and then I watched the show. And
did he write The Walking Dead?
He wrote the graphic novel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or graphic or
the
whatever.
original work.
And then the same thing with Invincible, I believe was a thing beforehand. But it seems like he's always like he's very try hard. He's like, yeah, and then this woman gets gets taken advantage of in the zombie apocalypse, and then she gets her eye shot out, and then she gets taken advantage of again. Like, it's just...
You seriously just gonna spoil our script all the way?
It's just it's just like he goes very above and beyond of to show the cruel nature of the apocalypse in The Walking Dead, whereas if the show tones it down to a degree and focuses more on the fun zombie violence. And I feel like, I don't know, it's almost, I almost feel like Robert Kirkman, his writing is all it's the same thing with the Boys graphic novel, where it's like, yeah, every superhero is a piece of shit that's maiming and raping and killing, and then in the show it's like, yeah, there's some superheroes that are bad, but some of them have good qualities, and we're not trying to overdo it here. I like when they pull back, because it feels like in graphic novels they always just...
Well, because graphic novels, they don't have anyone to like above them. Essentially, they can do whatever they want and make it as fucked up. But the shows,
this happens.
Network television, so they have to kind of be like, okay, we got to tone it back. We can't.
And then Homelander eats a baby.
Does that happen?
I think that happens in the graphic novel. I think he just eats a baby, and then
Vince Gilligan helped write it.
We'll see if they include it in the show. They're heading for their last season. The Boys, season 5 will be their final season.
I need to see The Boys. I've heard it's good, and I've seen there's the classic GIF of Homelander, and everyone's like clapping around him, and he's like smiling.
That's from the season before this last season. I would say overall, I like The Boys. I do feel like
Boys.
I do feel like there are you feel the lulls. There are lulls that you feel
like
in the show.
LULZ?
Like times where it feels like from episode 1 to the finale, all the progression happened in the episode before the finale.
Oh, yeah.
It has that type of problem. I think there are a lot of fun ideas, and I think, as I said, overall it's a great show. It always comes down to a pacing problem with stuff like this.
That's how I kind of felt about Better Call Saul while it was airing, when it was live.
But then when you go and...
Yeah.
Did you watch it? Did you rewatch the whole thing?
I rewatched the whole thing from start to finish in a pretty quick...
So give me Dr. Matthews' prognosis on Better Call Saul as a second watch.
Dude, honestly, as a second watch...
No, dishonestly.
You want me to lie? Okay. Dude, I think they should have cast a Chinese man. That's not a lie.
Black or Chinese.
Yeah, black or Chinese. I do think that on my rewatch, when it wasn't split up by years of between seasons, like when COVID hit, or just... I remember I watched the first episode of Better Call Saul the night it aired in my friend's college dorm room. That was a decade ago. And then we watched the finale at my place when it aired last year.
You watched the premiere in college?
Uh-huh.
When did it premiere, Better Call Saul?
2014.
Did it?
Or it was 2015. 2014
For some reason,
or 15.
I thought that we started like the wing night. No, what?
That was in season 2.
Was it still Better Call Saul that we were having wing nights?
Yeah, that was Better Call Saul.
I remember we were watching a show at like our old apartment.
Better Call Saul. That was
Good
like season
Lord.
2.
That show lasted a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like you kind of get you lose a lot in the time between, and I think from a rewatch where I just kind of blew through it all at once, it's so much better. Like I actually when I finished Better Call Saul for the first time, I thought it was good, and I was like, that's a great show. But when I really just went through the whole thing, really enjoyed it.
I still think the Chuck arc is my favorite arc in the show, and I've only seen it once, so I haven't seen the second watch. But I think that the show is best whenever Chuck is on screen with Jimmy.
He's a fantastic actor.
So good. They're
Michael
so
McKean?
good together. Yeah, Michael McKean.
So good. He's in Spinal Tap. He's in a bunch of older stuff I need to see, but he was cast perfectly as the older brother who's kind of more successful and condescending, but not in like a mean way on purpose, but more in like he's just very smart and wants what's best for his brother.
I think a lot of people don't give enough credit to casting directors, because a project can be made or broken by the casting. And I think that Vince Gilligan's team, whoever he has as his casting director, always has done like such a fucking great job.
Oh yeah. I can't think of anyone who I'm trying to think through Breaking Bad and through. Yeah, guys, there you go. You can check off your bingo board. We talked about Breaking Bad this episode. I can't think of anyone that I was miscast or like shittily cast.
No, I you know who has a big problem
besides Holly
with casting direct, I feel, and I don't want to talk about a lot of the projects because it involves like more so child actors. Because you can, I don't know, my thing is with Netflix. I feel like Netflix has a problem with its casting directors and just really not hitting the mark. They hit the mark once with Stranger Things and being able to get all those like I feel like they knocked
and
it
Narcos,
out of
I think.
And Narcos, but in terms of like more specifically with Stranger Things, because I'm aligning it to like child actors in their projects, they really did a good job with every single one.
Except Finn Wolfhard.
Except for Finn Wolfhard. But then in other projects, again, I don't want to name the projects directly because I don't want it to come off that I'm bullying children.
I'll say one. Death Note.
Death Note was very bad.
That was a weird casting choice.
But the Willem Dafoe was perfectly cast as like,
but light.
Yeah.
The Wolf brother.
But they got the knockoff Wolfhard.
Yeah.
No, not Wolfhard. Sorry,
Wolf brother.
Wolf brother. I'm not. That's mean.
Dude,
I don't
he's
mean to
watching
say
this and he's probably like, nope.
He's not the knockoff. I was being a little.
He's not in as much stuff as his brother.
I was being a little butt. I think Alex is a great actor. He was in, most notably, I would say, Hereditary.
Right, Hereditary. I was gonna say Naked Brothers band.
No,
that's good
fine.
too. Can't beat the Naked Brothers band.
No. Wasn't it? Is it Nathan and Alex? Who's the other wolf?
It's not Nathan Wolf. There's
Alex
Wolf and
Margaret Wolf.
Yeah, I think it's Margaret.
Okay. But so like, I don't know. There's just been a thing with Netflix shows where their casting is very hit or miss, and when they hit, it's good, but when they miss, it's
a little nip slip.
But when they miss, it's such a big miss.
Right.
And then you don't know who to blame if it's like, oh, are they just getting directors attached on the certain projects that are just doing the job of a director and not putting a lot of thought and care into the project because they're just there to do their job? Because like you'll get a director who really cares about a project, or you get a director who's just doing a director's job, which there's nothing wrong with just doing your job in the entertainment industry, but you can definitely tell when a director has their hand and shows some care in the direction of an episode or a series or something.
I think something to consider too is budget. You know, like if they don't have a high budget, casting.
The shows I'm thinking of have a big ass budget. Let me look up the budget of one of the shows I'm.
What are you thinking of? Luke can bleep. I mean, you could say. I don't think Netflix.
Said it's a
no. Wait. If I want to be on good standing terms with Netflix for when we make our Netflix original. And if Netflix were to cast Ryan McGee and Matt Watson in something, I think that would be an incredible casting choice.
Interesting.
What? What's the budget, brother?
The budget for the show was $120 million. It is an effects heavy show. I don't care. I'm going to talk about it. It's the Avatar live action thing that Netflix put out.
Right.
And again, nothing against a lot of the actors put in, but I do feel that specific project felt very rushed, and the casting in some ways was a bit misplaced. And I'm not gonna name names because then that would lead to like direct or harassment.
I know that our fans would probably send them letters in the mail, death threats, and
you don't want to be a young actor and hear, you know.
No.
If look, I know it's like, oh, what are the chances that they'd be listening to y'all? You know, stop thinking everyone's listening to you. But like, we know how it is. We'll go into the dark corners of the internet to find fucking opinions about us. So.
Oh, it's awful. Like opinions about it's a very unique position to be able to have thousands of opinions of you on the internet, and access to them, it's something that humans were never meant to have, and it is dangerous for the brain.
Well, you're a millionaire. It comes with the job then.
Not even close. But actually, someone...
For those who... Because I still see that. It's like, they're millionaires. Matt and I have never come close to being millionaires in this venture.
Not even quarter millionaires.
We have never come halfway, a quarter... So I just want to stop seeing that confusion.
Okay, well, yeah, because a lot of people get mad because they think that we're really rich, and they're like, the rich YouTuber thing isn't a joke when it's real. It's like, we're comfortable. Well, not really at the moment. But,
no, not at the moment. But it's
we
just
will
like
grind a little more.
We make a living that otherwise in another era would be deemed as impossible and unreliable. I mean,
right, and we're so like aware and grateful of the privilege we have to be able to do this. And speaking of which, ads.
Welcome back. I hope you liked those ads.
I know they did, Ryan.
Good.
They were
good, and they better be supporting.
They were
us, not
and they are. Well, when they support these corporations, it supports us. Guys, consume. Just consume. You love it. You want this product. You want to buy this product. You want to enroll and sign up in this membership. You want to.
You want to buy a T-shirt with the product logo on it.
Guys, I got my Mint Mobile T-shirt.
Ryan Reynolds has got to be selling merch for Mint Mobile.
Oh, he probably has like a Mint Mobile tattoo on his back, a whole back piece of the Mint Mobile logo.
Like Steve-O's monster logo.
Yeah.
It just has the Mint Mobile logo.
Steve-O just got a penis tattooed on his face.
Oh, sorry.
I believe.
It's not Steve-O that has the monster.
No, Steve-O has his face.
That's Rob Dyrdek who has the monster tattoo.
Really?
Doesn't he have wasn't it Rob Dyrdek who has the giant... I thought you're the one who told me that. Do you not remember?
No, I don't remember Rob Dyrdek having the monster tattoo.
Hold on.
It's totally plausible though. I can see him. You're talking full back piece, like entire back. Oh my god!
I'm talking.
That's okay. Luke, show the audience this Robert Dyrdek back piece. It's something. How much money to do that?
That was maybe. I'm gonna say. Over 1,000, below 2,000.
No, I'm asking you. How much money would you take to do that to yourself?
Oh.
To get the full Monster logo back piece.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard one because part of
I don't want to accept too low. Because my brain goes for in my head I don't go for the lowest I do it for. My brain works. I'm like, what could I get?
You start high.
What could I get out of this? Mm-hmm. Like, how much could I get out of this?
And then you go, you negotiate it lower. But
what's the lowest you take? $1 million. What? Why $1 million? Just give me $1 million. It's like, we're not actually going to give you $1 million. This is just a hypothetical. Mm.
Like the guy that owns mattwatson.com, and I asked him if the domain was for sale, and he's like, oh, I can sell it. And I was like, great. Well, what are you thinking? He said $1 million. And I said, are you fucking kidding? So, guys,
he's one of the ones that thought that you were a millionaire.
Exactly, yeah. And he's like, he can afford this. $1 million from mattwatson.com? Guys, please help me fund this.
He's going to start an Indiegogo soon.
We finally did it, guys. We raised $1 million so I can buy mattwatson.com. Crazy.
I got to start wearing shirts that fit me more.
Yeah, that's baggy, dude. You had a little nip slip earlier,
I know.
Audio listeners didn't get to see it, but
sometimes the nip slips happen live on the live streams.
They do. It happened recently. That nip is just fucking poking out, saying "Hello, world."
I'm sorry. Hello, world. It's a nip that they're seeing. It's Ryan's nipple.
What song is that? Hello, world.
World is a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy.
You got some soul in you, man.
Da na 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 na.
Yeah.
Na 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 na.
Yeah. I wish they at shows, those classic rock and soul bands from the 60s and 70s that still perform.
Rock and soul? I much prefer rock and roll.
No, I like rock and soul myself, but I wish to, appeal to modern audiences, because usually at those concerts it's just old people going to it because they liked the band when they were young. Like the Grateful Dead, they need to have like a guy that's on stage near the edge of the stage, so he's not center focus, with a microphone stand, and he just throws in a every now and then to kind of modernize the music.
So I have an interesting question for you. For someone like, well, some of them are dead, unfortunately, but it's like, for the Beatles who are still alive and they want to perform, they'd get a shit ton of people that would come, but what would their audience look like? Do you think enough? Because the Beatles are timeless. You'll always see like younger people kind of like getting into the Beatles. Like, I never tried these. Have you ever listened to the Beatles? Like, yep.
Me in 2021. I think that
it was you in 20.
It's when I discovered the Beatles.
Because I remember you always kind of had a stick up your butt about them for a little bit. Like, you just were like,
it's just that college music snob, pretentious, like, oh, the Beatles. And then just, one day I was like, fuck it, I'll listen to the Beatles, and I did, and I was like, fuck,
but you don't like the Beach Boys.
I love the Beach Boys. What are you talking about?
Good. I thought you didn't like the Beach Boys for some reason.
Well, I don't like the politics within the Beach Boys, and I'm not talking like political. I mean, like between them, there's some nasty stuff that happened, and I really like Brian Wilson a lot. And they split. Mike Love, Brian Wilson. There's a movie about it with Paul Dano, but
did it come out like within the past like 5 years?
Okay. Great. Love the Beach Boys. But I think a Beatles audience would be mixed, more old than young. But I think that it would be a lot of parents bringing their younger, not kids, but like, they're like 18, 19-year-old kids.
Yeah. Like who's going to go see an Elton John concert? Because he still probably sells out huge-ass arenas. How do these older musicians, and is it just from like they are above a name and a title at this point? They are like
icon.
Their own genre. Yeah, they're an icon. They're their own genre because their name is essentially the genre of which they perform, right?
Right.
So it's like how much does that carry over to a new audience? Like you see, I don't know, like Michael Johnson fans.
Right. Are you saying like with newer audiences as time goes on, like is Michael Johnson and the Beatles and Elton John just going to like stop becoming as big as it is?
Yeah.
Because it seems timeless, because it's like the radio always will play it, everyone knows the songs.
But is it also timeless to us because we still grew up in that generation that was very big into like Beatles mania,
our parents,
Beatles fever,
were, and now like the modern generation of parents were born kind of with us.
So now, like for parents that are like our age and then their kids are growing up, there's of course just going to be more of a generational.
They're going to be showing
like,
them
disconnect.
Britney Spears instead of Michael Johnson.
I love Britney Spears, dude.
It's great.
Britney Spears, I would fall asleep to almost every night.
Really?
Fall asleep. Oh yeah.
Fall asleep to Britney Spears?
Hit me, baby, one more time.
I didn't peg that one as like a sleeping
My
type of music.
loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind. Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time.
So good. God. Classic, dude. Toxic. I remember I was on a road trip and I had some headphones in. I was listening to my sister's iPod and Toxic came on and I was drawing in the back seat and I think I replayed that song like 12 times in a row.
Dude, I like they're this, they're the new heads. There's Olivia Rodrigo, Sabrina Carpenter, Chappell Roan. They will never replace Britney Spears to me.
Never. Ashley Simpson.
Are you pitting women against each other?
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. And we'll never stop. We will never stop. No matter how hard you try.
But I don't know. It's just like Britney Spears is one of those ones where like to me Britney Spears is timeless. I love her sound and I love her her delivery and her lines and stuff. Her
Well, part of it also something that makes them timeless is not just the music, but their like image. Because if Britney Spears never did any kind of like public whatever, she only sang and did concerts and was never seen in the public, I don't know if she would be as timeless. But because she has as well, she had that kind of like mental health crisis.
Or shaved her head.
Right, in the early mid-2000s.
She was taken advantage of by her family and
right.
and loved ones and friends.
And she dated
significant others.
Timberlake, right? Was it
did.
Justin Timberlake?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like all of that stuff, everyone's watching, and it like cements this person in history.
Well, even more so than today. And I know like artists and whatever have complaints about like parasocial relationships, because parasocial relationships within that genre and just those artists are always going to be just bad and unhealthy, blah, blah,
sure.
blah, blah, blah. But like nothing to me will like, I don't think it'll ever be as bad as like the Britney Spears era, where they were just like really like hounding this not even 20-year-old, trying to get like upskirt shots when she's coming out of a car, like filming her. Of course she would have these mental breakdowns sometimes in public, and when you're a big name, news is going to travel. But it's just like Britney Spears is like just another one of the shining examples of just like the fucking sad, unfortunate story of fame when it comes to specifically female entertainers.
100%. And I think that it was really brutal back then as well, because people don't care as much about paparazzi shit anymore. I feel like the whole like paparazzi and TMZ type, I mean, TMZ is always going to be popular.
They're still annoying people at airports.
But I feel like back in the early and mid 2000s especially, like paparazzi were much more I think more people paid attention, and they were very vicious with what they did, and they still are. But it's like back then I feel like more people paid attention to paparazzi before everyone was really on the internet.
It's always grimy, but back then it was like a griminess that I feel like most people condoned in that era. And I feel like less people condone that TMZ type of infiltrating someone's life today.
Well, because it was on like, I mean, you still have these magazines, but you had like those magazines that would just be about gossip about celebrities.
And, the Inquirer and shit like that still exists, and TMZ, of course, is still around doing what they do.
People magazine, but
there's just something. You're right. There's something about that, like early 2000s, mid 2000s era of celebrity worship, combined with like the paparazzi and TMZ culture that was just insane.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Because I don't know if people care as much about celebrity like movie star gossip as they did back then that they do today. Today it's more about influencer.
Yeah, and it's also you and I are the Britney Spears of today.
Oh, of course.
And I think that also the attention span I feel like has sped up so much that now I feel like back then things would be much what?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah?
Because I wanted to talk to you.
What?
Hold up. I gotta get the carbonation out, otherwise it'll just, start coming up in the middle of conversation.
Stomach might pop.
I caught myself doing something last night. And
what?
When I caught myself doing it, I had to stop and take a hard, long look at myself. Like, what kind of person am I? Am I really turning into this? Does this say more about me or the culture? Well, I was watching a YouTube video, and in the middle of it, I notice, wait a second, holy shit, am I really doing this? I had my thumb pressed down so it would automatically just be playing in 2x speed. I've started watching stuff on like 2x speed.
Me too.
And I'm like, because regular speed now sounds a lot like this when people talk.
Our attention spans are just getting fucked.
And I think that's bad. I think I need to force myself to not watch it 2 times and like to just watch at normal speed, and probably not watch as like stop going to like TikTok, because TikTok I think is training my brain to just want that 5 seconds of like Vine started it, and then TikTok came in and
Damn it, China. You know, we got to start making these episodes like 2 minutes max if we want to stay relevant, because these hour-long podcasts, these kids don't have the fucking, you know, mental capacity to keep up with it.
That's why we need clips from the podcast that go bink bump, you know?
Yeah, and we have a TikTok account, and yes, Bink and Bonk.
I was hoping that the subtitles go boom boom, maybe with some confetti.
Ooh, that's good. I mean,
and then we could talk about a something that they could throw up on screen that people would be like, I know that.
Skibbity toilet.
Skibbity toilet. Remember Skibbity toilet? Wow. I don't know.
That's a good clip.
Maybe that'll attract people.
It's a good clip for socials. Clip that one.
Might make people do the opposite.
Why?
I don't know. Something
no, that one's going to do numbers. Trust me. But you know what also does numbers?
Our Patreon.
I didn't mean to lead it into like a braggy way like that. I was just trying to find a transition.
That's why I was like, you know what else is doing numbers? Our Patreon, dude.
But as you can see on screen right now, there are names, a whole list of names. Well, 2 lists of names. You got the executive producers and the regular producers. And you can sign up on our Patreon. You get these episodes ad-free, plus a ton of content. And if you want your name in every new episode of Super Mega Show, you could sign up for the producer tier or executive producer tier. And also, you automatically get monthly stickers in the mail, such as, look at this. Look at one of this month's sticker. I don't know if it's... I needed to be in focus.
That's one of my favorite stickers because the license plate.
It's a license plate.
And if there's a little Easter egg on it.
There is.
For fans who would recognize it.
There's 2 Easter eggs, actually. So, hope you guys enjoy. Sticker Club is very fun. I enjoy the designing and the funness. It's very fun.
And remember, it's optional. Like, we're not forcing anyone to subscribe to the Patreon to watch the podcast or watch any of the stuff that we produce for the main channel.
Right. You can just get it early and ad-free, which is a little perk.
Yeah. So thanks to everyone who supports us through Patreon. We really appreciate it.
We love you.
It shows that you like the podcast, you like the channel, you like the boys, and you'll get more of what you like by subscribing, hopefully. You know, you get extra shows like Uncle's Sleepover, which is Matt and I will watch a movie and commentate over it. It's a commentary track for movies.
Right,
Our last
you watch
movie
it with
we
us.
did was RV.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
And not only that, though, but you get Super Mini Show, which is an extra sloppy serving of this podcast every single week. And if you head over to Patreon right now, you can watch the corresponding Super Mini Show for this episode. So
exactly.
We love you. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. You were just already talking, and I wanted to find a way that I could fit myself in.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just wanted to say that we're very thankful for everyone supporting us, and Matt wishes he could talk more, but he just can't. Love you. Bye.
My only exposure to Moneyball was when I was on tour at an Airbnb. I had to share
Ben watch it a lot.
I had to share the bed with Ben Beal, and it was like, hey, we got a big day tomorrow. Let's get some sleep. We're exhausted. He insisted on watching Moneyball to fall asleep.
Apparently, it's a good movie.
He put it on in the